Okay, so in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to do the magic ring. And I recorded the video, but I had to pause it. My brother was calling me, so I had to pause the video, which is, I mean, it's okay. I just am having to stop it a lot. I have 3 kids, and sometimes I have to stop my videos for them, and then they do not, I don't know, I just don't feel like they flow as well. So anyways, that's why this one is kind of, I don't know. I just feel, like I said, I don't feel like it flows. I've got some yarn here that I'm using from Hobby Lobby. It's called Tweed Indeed, which is super cute. And then confetti. I love the kind of confetti yarn. I've seen some before. This is like a cotton blend, and it really reminds me of, I'm trying to think of the name. I love this cotton yarn, the way it feels, but it's a little bit softer than that, to be honest. I love this cotton. I've used it before. I've washed it. It washes really well. I have not used this one yet. I'm going to create some kind of a swatch right now during the video and wash it just to see how it turns out. So I might post that in the comments just so that you know how durable it is. In my opinion, whenever I'm creating something, I just want it to last. I don't want it to be in the washer and ruin. So whenever I am like recommending a yarn, I've tried it, my kids have tried it, they've destroyed it, or they have loved it and it has lasted. So anyways, let's go ahead and go through magic ring. Why would you want to create a magic ring? Well, because I mean, you want to create something in a circle, right? So how do you create it? The first step so let me go over it first, and I'll talk about what you can create with it. So you're going to take I'm going to call this the tail, and then your working yarn is what is attached to the ball. So that's how I'm going to define it. So I'm going to lay my tail across my fingers like this, and I'm going to wrap it around my index finger and my middle finger, and then I'm going to make an X. Okay, so X marks the spots. So this is kind of tricky. You'll have to pause that video. Try it yourself, these steps. Once you get used to it though, you'll do it and it'll be like almost automatic. So I'm going to place my hook. So first of all, I'm holding the working yarn underneath my ring finger and pinky. I'm kind of holding it tight together. You do what makes you feel comfortable, but try to make it tight, because otherwise you're going to lose what you got going on, and you don't want to do that. All right, I'm going to place my hook underneath that tail, and I'm going to scoop up that working yarn. And I always kind of twist it so I don't lose it. So as you can see, I've twisted it. Get your movements the way you feel comfortable with it. And then what happens is you've created this V. You're going to scoop up the one side of the V, which I guess that is your left side. And then you're going to pull it through the loop that you created. And boop. Okay, and now you have your first loop, which would be like having your slip knot. So this is kind of like your slip knot, but it's around a magic ring. And so the ring that's created is this part right here. And you've got your working yarn. You're about to use that, so you need to know where it's at. So that's my working yarn. My ring I'm placing within, let's see, I'm placing my thumb in the ring to hold it. And then I've got a lot of working pieces right here. So you guys do what helps you hold these pieces together and not lose what's going on. So your slip knot is on your hook. You're going to place your hook inside the magic ring, or inside the ring that you're holding with your thumb. And then you've got your index finger with your working yarn. You're going to scoop that up. You're going to yarn it over, or however you want to describe it. You're going to scoop it up, and then you've got 2 loops, okay? This is like your very first single crochet. So you're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull through both loops, and there you go. You have your very first single crochet on the magic ring. Again, I'm going inside the ring. I'm going to yarn over and pull up, and now I've got 2 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over and pull through. There is my second single crochet. You're going to place your hook in, yarn over, pull through both. Same thing every time. Once you get this going, you'll be able to go much faster, And it took me a while, but once I got it, it felt comfortable. I'm able to do it, and I can create all those cute little animals. Those amigurumi. I bought so many little books that I'm following. One of them is a Pokemon book. I'm going to do a book review later, but my son is obsessed with Pokemon, and I had to learn how to make them. So I bought a book, and I just love it. The directions are great, and I am working on a project right now with that. All right, so I don't even know how many I've created. So let me count. We've got a total of, it looks like I always turn over and count the V's. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6, and that sounds about right. I feel like if you make more than 6, sometimes it's hard, it won't pull tight. All right, so here's where everything starts to happen. You take your tail and I always hold it down towards the knot, and you pull, not too tight, but tight enough to bring it together, and you can see there's the ring. Okay, so the next step is to make your ring together. Bring it together, okay? I kind of tuck my tail out of the way. I've seen some tutorials where they try and crochet it on there. I'm not going to show you how to do that right now. I'm just going to show you the basic. All right, so there's my first V. Okay, I'm going to place my hook inside that V, and I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to bring this ring together. So there we go. I'm going underneath both of my V, both of the pieces of the V. And then I'm going to yarn over, I'm going to pull through. Okay, and this is where you are not going to yarn over and pull through both loops. That would be a single crochet. What you're going to do is you're going to take that loop, and you're just going to, that's your connecting piece. So now you've connected it by pulling it through your loop right there. So now your ring is connected, and then you can see there's still a little hole. If you pull that tail, it will pull that sucker closed. Yeah, it will be nice and closed. And there you go. So that's how you create with the magic ring. And then you can count. I always go back and count just to make sure I have the right number of single crochets that I need for my project. If you follow like amigurumis, normally it's 4 to 6 where you're creating single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I've got one right here. I think that's the one, that's the loop. So I want to be careful I don't count that one as part of the single crochets. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and single crochet in the very first, I guess I don't count that one. The next one over, so I'm going to go ahead and place my hook in that V, and I'm going to pull through. And now I'm just going around and around doing the same thing. But instead of just one single crochet, because you are creating a circle, you want to increase in every single crochet. So you want to actually do 2 single crochets in each one. Otherwise, you're going to create like a tube. Like I would say like a finger shape if you just do single crochets all the way around. But if you want a circle, you're going to have to increase on some level. So the first time you go around, and I always like to mark it. So mark it with some sort of like counter. Some people use rings, some people use safety pins. I'm going to use one of my, and this is really big, but I want to be able to see it in the video. I want you to be able to see it. So I'm going to mark my very first row. I'm going to mark it with this because I want to know when I need to start increasing in a different way. All right, so I already did 1 single crochet. I'm going to do another single crochet in that same location. Now I've just doubled it. So when I'm done all the way around, I should have, well, what's 2 times 6 would be 12. So I should have 12 single crochets, and that will kind of indicate what it's my time to stop and start a different way of increasing. So I'm going to go ahead and go into the next stitch. Remember, we're increasing in all stitches. We're going to do double the amount. So I'm going to go back in and do it again. And these are single crochets. And then now I'm going to the next stitch. Now, why would you want to do this as well? If, let's say you don't want to create little animals, but what happens if you want to create like a basket? Baskets are really great. And this would be an item that you could create using the magic ring. I think I only did one. I'm sorry, I started talking. I do that all the time. I think I created just one. I'm going to go ahead and go back in and do one more single crochet. And now I'm going into the next V. And hopefully I won't forget to do 2. And there we go. All right, and I'm almost back to the beginning. And then remember, I'm going to do a slip stitch when I get to the beginning again. All right, so here, and I'm going to count just to make sure I'm not off count, because I think I might have gotten off count. So right here, I'm going back in to my confetti yarn. When I first bought the confetti yarn, I thought, or the tweed kind of look, it has like a tweed look to it. I thought that the confetti would fall off, but it has not. It's still on there. All right, I'm going to count. 1, so that's my first one. This is where I'm going to connect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then that would be 12. So I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch into this first one, and that will be the end of my round. So that's 12. Slip stitch kind of finishes that round off. You don't have to do it, but I just like to. All right, so that's the start of my round. I've finished it. I've got 12 single crochets now. This time I'm going to do a single crochet, and then in the next stitch over, I'm going to do 2 single crochets. So that's how you would kind of bring your circle out to make it bigger, and you would do the same pattern each time. So then like for the next round after this round of single crochet and then doing double or 2 single crochets, then you would do 2 singles, and then when you got to the third you would do double, if that makes sense. So it's like it's a pattern every time, and then the same pattern would go throughout depending on what kind of project you're making. All right, so I'm going to go through again, and I'm not really following any kind of pattern. I'm just making a circle. So I'm going to go into the first, actually I'm going to yarn over and make 1 chain stitch, just because I don't know, I feel like it's starting to pull, and you can do that if you want to kind of create some kind of height. And then I also want to mark this round, so I haven't started it yet. I'm going to just mark it right here. So if I were to double every other single crochet, I would be at 18. So I'm going to go in to the first stitch right here, and I'm just going to do 1 single crochet. Then my next stitch, I'm going to do 2 single crochets into, and that's where I'm going to do that increase. Okay, and then I'm going to just do 1 single crochet in the next stitch, and then I'm going to go into the second stitch, and I'm going to go and do 2 single crochets. That's increasing, making it create that circular shape. If you don't increase, like I said, it's just going to create like a finger shape, and you'll know when you do it. Okay, so I think this was my twice, and this is my first time. So I'm going to go into this next stitch, and I'm going to do 2, and I should be, if I did the math right, I should be at 18. I think maybe I didn't do it right. I can only do one thing at a time. So let's see, I'm going to go in and I'm going to single crochet in that stitch, and then I'm going to go into the next one. This is where I'm going to increase it by 2. And you can see the circle kind of being created. All right, so I did it twice, and this time I'm only going to do it once. And the next one is a twofer. I'm going to double it up. 1 and in there one more time. Boop. Okay, now I've gotten here. I should be at 18. Let me go ahead and count. It's really hard for me to see it sometimes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So I think maybe I put my marker at the wrong spot. So this is just a single because I already did a double right beside it. So the next one, I think this one where my stitch marker is, and kind of dips down. So I guess that makes sense. I need to do 2 in there, and then I'll be at the 18 that I predicted it to be. If I can get it in there. I guess I broke that. I guess I stuck it through. I don't know why that's so hard. Okay, all right, now I see the stitch. So I did 1, now I need to do 1 more, and that completes my round. And I should be at 18 now. For some reason it does not want to come through. There we go, I got it. Okay, so this should be the 18th one. I'm gonna go ahead and create a slip stitch in the next single crochet, and then I'm gonna yarn over and make 1 chain stitch. All right, so there is the magic ring method, and I went a little bit further. I created the circle. The next round, what I would have done is I would have knitted the first, or crocheted, I'm sorry, single crocheted in the first 2, and then when I got to the third one, I double it up. Okay, so increasing every 3rd stitch. All right, hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you for coming to my channel. Like, subscribe. If you do like my videos, please let me know by subscribing and letting me know if you would like me to create more. This is just a passion of mine. I've loved creating fiber art, and I'd love to hear feedback from y'all. Anyways, this is going to make it to the washer in just a little while just to see how it goes. And as you can see, the yarn's kind of has like this and that's okay. I mean, some yarn does that. I think cotton yarn does this a lot, where it kind of picks and pulls. So get your lint roller for this one if you buy this yarn. All right. Again, like, subscribe. See you later. Have a great day.